Another day in the great illusion, in the Maya. Not to get too spiritual. Meditation, if practiced often enough, begins to make you so grounded, almost unfuckwithable. So like the external environment, whatever happens, whatever situation you're in, you're able to deal with it a lot more than you would be if you wasn't meditating on a consistent basis. And I noticed this yesterday when I had an incident, which is no biggie really in comparison to what other things could have occurred. But I'll explain what happened. I was on my lunch break and I grabbed some ground beef and I needed some sauce, some bolognese sauce to go with it, because that's kind of what I have consistently, well, not every day, but every couple of days I'd probably have some ground beef with some sauce and yam that down quickly on my lunch break. And I got back and I was about to get out my car and I had like a couple of items in this hand, a couple of items in that hand, no bag. And I thought, okay, then I'll make it to the door, which is literally just like a couple of feet over there. And in my head, as I was getting out of the car, I thought, I'm going to drop something here. I suppose that thought alone is what made it happen, but it wasn't really a thought, it was a sense. I kind of was like, okay then. And it was beginning to rain. Just as I opened the door, I put my hand on the door, the jar of bolognese sauce, which was a larger jar to be fair, slid out my hand. And I was about to go like this to catch it and react and catch it, but something stopped me. And I think it was more the case of just let it go. Just let it go and just let it happen. And it happened, and then it just went like, and all the glass, all the sauce a lot of it went over my car tire, and a lot of it went underneath the car, the glass, and further away as well. The impact was quite loud. And as the rain came down, I thought, I've got to clean this up. Like, that's all I did. That's all I thought. I didn't think, oh, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm annoyed. Whereas if I wasn't meditating on a consistent basis, then I probably would have like had a go at myself, like got a little bit annoyed and agitated that I had to clean it up. Maybe I've not even cleaned it up and just let the rain wash it away. Like, these things that we do when we are not able to respond rather than react is what meditation really helps us with. And it's not to say that you can't feel, oh yeah, I'm agitated a little bit, like from, if you do meditate, you can. But it helps you to become more aware of when those emotions arise. And to me, I just laughed it off. Like, I just went, what's the big issue with something like that? Like, or if you drop your phone and, your phone screen's cracked to pieces now, you can't use it. People would cry over that. And I'm not saying that I'm any different or any better than anyone else, because I don't respond in that kind of way. But this is how the mind works. This is how emotions are if we're not able to observe them and become more aware of them, rather than allowing them to control and dictate how we feel and how we respond to the outside world. it's a very important practice to start implementing into your life if you have the ability to do so, because it takes a lot to be able to just sit in stillness. And as the thoughts come and go, it's like Osho says, it's like you're on top of the mountain looking down into the valley, and all your thoughts are just floating above the valley, and you're above your thoughts. You're able to go and see them just come and pass. That's how powerful it is. It's not that you cling to the thought. It's that you're able to decide whether or not that thought becomes part of your identity. And if it does, then it can begin to control your actions, your behaviors, your habits. Before you know it, your life is falling apart in some way, shape, or form. And only you know what that is. And only you really know what you need to do. There's people out there, there's information out there that can guide you to getting to where you're able to do that. But is that the path you really want to take? We all have our own choice in life. We all have our own path. And we can pave that path every single day through the actions, through the habits and the behaviors and the actions that we decide to implement into our life, that will begin to make our life more fulfilling, more wholesome, more whole. Where we feel everything, but we don't allow it to dictate what goes on. If we allow it to, unless we allow it to, of course, like, we have the decision ultimately. But then part of me goes and says, oh, wait, when we say this, like, this is where the universe really, really tests you to see whether or not you do have what it takes to be the person that you're claiming to be. So you never know when it's going to come and slap you in the face. But to me, it's a case of just bring it on, like, you know, because this is what helps us grow as beings, as human beings. We are able to grow through trials and tribulations, hardships, you know, the ups and downs of life. We take it on the chin and we move forward and we learn and we grow through that situation, rather than avoiding it and bottling it up before it gets to a point where it just topples over and explodes, and before you know it, you're in a sticky situation, a destructive situation. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Have a blessed day wherever you're at. Right now here in the UK it is currently miserable and raining, but don't let that get you down. If you're in the UK, you know, the sun is meant to be shining by the end of this week. And even when the rain is falling, the sun is still out there somewhere smiling. And you can be smiling too. So, bless I.